Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to day 9 of 31 days of Horrorween. Today we are talking about Robert, which was suggested to me by one of my creepy patron peeps, Pierre. So thank you for your request, Pierre, and thank you to all my other creepy patron peeps as well for your support of my channel. If you want to find out the perks to being a patron of mine, you can follow that link in the description. Written and directed by Andrew Jones, Robert follows Jenny, Paul, and their son Gene, who experience terrifying supernatural occurrences after their former housekeeper gifts Gene with a doll. As you probably have figured out, or if you've seen this movie already, you already know, this movie is loosely based on the real-life doll, Robert, who currently resides south of me in Key West, Florida. I kind of recently, maybe like a month-ish ago now, did a video on the real life Robert the doll, so you can check that out up here. I think it's up here. It's the saddest thing that I don't know. It's somewhere. But you can check out that video if you want. But yeah, so let's get into this review. Like I said, this was an interpretation of this movie, and I liked how it was a modern interpretation. If you watched my Robert the Doll video, you'll know that Robert's story starts long ago, like beginning of the 1900s, long ago. So this is definitely like a modern interpretation of the story, and obviously there are some references to the original story with the names. So the little boy whose name is Gene, same as the real life person who was gifted the doll Robert, and their last name in the movie, Otto, is the last name of the actual family who received Robert first. And of course we gotta talk about, with like a haunted doll movie, the Robert doll in the movie looks vastly different from the real life Robert doll, but I don't hate the changes in this one. Obviously for like cinematic purposes, like I don't know if the real life Robert the doll like has moving limbs, you know, like how some dolls do, like they have like little joints and things like that. But the one in the movie, like obviously its head could turn and things like that, so it creates for creepier moments when the doll's head turns by itself and things like that. And I also found that the Robert doll in the movie resembled the actor that played Gene. And I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I really did like that because I'm gonna spoil the end of the movie here, so if you don't want it spoiled for you, since this is a kind of recent movie, you can mute the video for a second. Because at the end of the movie, the demon or ghost or whatever that is in possession of the doll possesses Gene. So at the end of the movie, he kills his mother and father, and I don't know, like, and he's kind of wearing a similar shirt at the end to the doll, so I feel like the resemblance is really close. So I don't know if that was done on purpose, but I thought that was a nice touch. But speaking on that, I would like to see one day like a haunted doll movie where they actually maybe not necessarily used the actual doll, but recreated the doll. Because even with like Annabelle, because like the actual in real life Annabelle doll is just like a Raggedy Ann doll, which they probably couldn't do for like copyright purposes or something, but they always change the doll to make it way scarier than it actually is. Other than that though, I thought the movie was super heavy on the family drama. There's like this whole conflict within the movie with the mother, or Jenny, who has some sort of mental illness that is never defined specifically, but the only symptom that we know of is that she hears voices, but she's now taking medication. But this creates a conflict within the movie with her husband Paul, because Jenny realizes very quickly that there's something wrong with Robert the doll, and she believes that he is the cause of all the weird stuff that's happening. But then Paul thinks, you know, maybe she's not taking her medication, or the dosage needs to be upped or something like that. Like he thinks it's a symptom of her mental illness that we don't know what it is in the movie. The only real problem that I had with this was I feel like Jenny and Paul's conversations like about her illness and about their marriage just went on for way too long. Like there were just some scenes, especially at the beginning, that like it just dragged on, and I was just like it seemed, I don't know, it just seemed way more like a drama than anything. And it kind of also seemed like a made-for-TV movie just based on how they cut away from the violence. So there's an instance where the new housekeeper that comes in, she is killed by Robert the doll, and the doll like trips her down the stairs or whatever. So you see her starting to fall down the stairs, and then it cuts away. You don't hear the noise or anything like that, and it's just like literally the next shot is her on the ground at the bottom of the stairs. And that's like that for all of the violence. You don't actually see anything. You only see the aftermath. But it's like, and normally I can be okay with that sort of thing, but they don't even play sound. Like if somebody was being stabbed in the movie, they would cut away from it and you'd see the aftermath, but you don't even hear like the stabbing sounds or anything like that. So I don't know if that was because this was like a made-for-TV movie, so they had to like really cut back on that sort of thing so they could play it during prime time or what, but it's just like all you saw was the aftermath, but there was no like tension with like noise or anything like that, so it was kind of a letdown. I personally found the movie a bit boring and I think that's really just a personal thing. It's not necessarily a dig on the movie, because just for me, like, it's like clowns and dolls. Clowns and dolls, I just really don't find that scary in real life, and that bleeds into my movie watching. Like, I don't really find them that scary in movies, so it's not any fault of the filmmakers on that. It's just a personal thing. Like, I'm just not that scared of dolls. So for me, the movie was a bit boring. But was the movie Robert worth it? For me, not really. If you are interested at all in Robert the doll, I would definitely recommend watching something of the non-fiction variety, like a documentary or a docu-series, or like a news story about Robert the doll or something like that if you're interested in it. This movie is obviously just an interpretation. I don't remember from the real story about Robert actually killing anybody, but there are some things in the movie that, you know, allude to actual things that did happen in real life with the doll. So it could be interesting that way. I mean, I'll leave that up to you. And if you like scary doll movies, then you'll probably enjoy this. But for me, I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5. On IMDb, it has a 3.2 out of 10. On Rotten Tomatoes, it doesn't have a critic score, but audiences give it an 11%. And on Letterboxd, it has a 1.8 out of 5. No surprise here, I watched this movie on Amazon, so there will be an affiliate link for this movie in the description, which there's no pressure to use that link, but if you do, it does help out the channel a little bit. And there are affiliate links on my blog. There's a whole dedicated page to this on my blog for all of the movies that I've watched so far in October, so those are all affiliate links as well. I do hope you enjoyed this video though. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here and become a Creepy Peep today. I'm posting a movie review every single day of the month of October, and then my regular schedule is Monday through Friday videos. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay strange. Bye!